A mim tem como invitado Vince Tonk, uma pessoa que não te desconheci aqui na Aruba. E Vince também conta-nos um pouco de sua trajetória, de diferentes fields que está atrás, que está conhecido também. Vince, bom dia, bom menino mainta com Lelícia.
Bom dia, Lelícia. Thanks for having me. Mijn naam is Vince Tonk, but a lot of people know me as Vince Irie. Hace muziek hopi aya. And halfway through that journey, I switched by drones, and that turned into a whole thing. And yeah, we'll love to tell you guys about it.
Me mesmo conhece como você é parte musical Vince Irie, mas também é parte de reggae, que eu sei não. Aqui, eu conheceu a parte de drone. Conta-nos um pouco de isso, não? Um trabalho usual que tu gente chega a fazer.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a long story, but basically, I like playing with RC cars, to go with a remote control. That's what RC stands for. Until I had a show with my band, so I always did music. Until I had a show with my band, until we had to wait for a long time. Until I started in stad, in Hulanda, until I ended up buying a little RC plane. Until Dienang mo compromas, until then it turned into drones, and I found out Bobobistion goggle while flying the drone. And that's called FPV, first person view. And Saki tot het 2003, like 10 years ago, and nobody was really doing it. It was like a new thing. And I mean, tot basta geeky back then, like a lot of hobbies. And Saki tot full, bam, oh, I really need to try this, need to do this. And tot basta caro, so I didn't have the money for it. So I sold some guitars, some musical stuff to get some drones. And from there it started, and then I started racing with drones, and now I'm filming with drones. It's a long story, but basically that's what happened. And yeah, muziek sample to get close to my heart, pero ja, mundo die drones gewoon hapen pa me basically. And maar gewoon take the opportunity and go for it. And now 10 years later, met die compagnie die drone, my Dutch drone gods na Hulanda. Nós temos hopi shoots, aí passamos assim 280 shoots. Nós temos um time mais grande, aí me tem empleado. We do TV, commercials, sports, not only na Hulanda, pero também internacionalmente nós te conheci. Me tem Instagram basta grande, 240,000 followers, TikTok 100,000 followers, and that's Jedi FPV, essa é a minha drone handle, my drone name. And yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of the story.
Mi saco essa que tá trabalho de babo tu caminha around o mundo. Último, mi tá riba social media, ma wako babai Iceland, se mi tá herando e nanta onde é shot na coi atenção a trobe mundialmente.
Sì. See, my by Iceland, well, that's another story. So, my by fit drone racing to filming with the whole company and stuff, and my Instagram started taking off. And I gewoon hoppy nature shots. People like seeing nature shots. People can race drones, so with the goggles on, you get very close. You can get dynamic shots which other people can't. And tot een groep chiquito, kutata pora hasisei. And to amita kai den groep. So no being from drone racing, and to skills the drone racing, we can make different types of shots. So, a volcano burst na Iceland, and a year or 2 years before, pari hende grabiento, meeting next time a buy, meeting like a burst, meeting ku buy pe, meeting ku buy, check it out. So that happened, I think in June or July, this past year. Ma wake burst, next day, ma book ticket, ami kum bradimi, Arubiano tami na jeep comes. No sabay junto, we had to hike like 4 hours to get up the mountain to get close to the volcano. But basically, we got the shot, I put the shot online, a week later it went super viral. Ela coi como 53 million views riba. Instagram, I gained like 100,000 followers. Also on TikTok, I didn't have any followers and gained 100,000 there as well. Tour op via just shot the volcano, so it was very much worth it. And it was a very nice experience to see like un volcán bodilant explode. See the circuit like.
Com me tenho imagem mesmo de me temperatura não é peligro, porque com vai bem é um risco que pode tomar também.
See, well, it's a volcán that open to the public. It uiteindelijk ela active for like a month and a half or two. but it was open to the public and for a hike, 4 horas. I don't know how many kilometers it was, but a lot of people did it, so it was like a tourist attraction. But llegan a un fin. And a fin, ainda bota like 2 kilometers away from the volcano. So bonota echt close. And to ting man security, police, and to bono magibay mas leeuw. Toen nog een keer hangout in aan, en op een gegeven moment police toen erbij, en toen voelen gangen sigikana. Ja, nog staan maar sigikana. Toen nog ze get like met een keer 800 meter de vulkaan, riba like un zero.
Okay.
Então feel basta safe.
Fica então, frio, caliente, como tem que ser.
Então man um carro de leeuw, que bota cinti caliente, pero all around temperature not caliente, do que tem hopi viento, and do tachta frio. So it's not, it was like okay temperature, but it's not like, oh, it's super hot or super cold. It's más frío que caliente, pero you can feel the heat. And then in the distance, like 500 to 800 meter distance, botawake lava to flow, and to ding, botawake a volcano to burst, and to. It will be surreal, and when you have fire, and to boki kedawake ding a flame, and say it a vibe, to kedawake volcán, man. Wow, and to keda spew out.
Esse é algo único, se isso tá pouco gente pode chegar na cerca, num lugar assim, para experienciar esse ocasião que cultura ela traz para o algo que vai bastante centenares de followers acerca.
Yeah, I hope mas status online, a bigger status, more people know me. Maar gente interessado in footage, so meeting a few big names who quer comprar footage de mim. This what I shot that time, so we're still negotiating. Takes a long time to negotiate these things, but that's something great. And just the notoriety of notoriety, like people know you now, you know. So quem contar me mostra vídeo, não também sei trabou, that's great. And to it's like a peak in my career. See mas big shoot for GoPro, or not a shoot, like they took me on a creators camp, I think 3 months ago in Slovenia, that also because of that shot of the volcano, so that was very cool to like work with the camera brand that I started out with in 2013. I had the GoPro 2, I was in GoPro 12, until being there for GoPro, like it was cool to do that. But saying that, 3 semanas passadas, se come volcano volve bai, então ela volve burst, mas volve bai.
Okay.
Pero mas chega, então ela die. So you have that as well. So it's like taking a risk to go to find the shot, but it's a risk. It's a guess. So a dia, ano passado como bai, in July, ito será. And the dia como land, ela abri, and I was there for 3 days. So I was kind of lucky. See, hope you're lucky and perfect situation. And like 3 weeks ago, I went again, and I wasn't so lucky. So, and então esforço que eu trago por mês, but tenho que pagar ticket, pagar hotel, auto, huur, so.
Oh ja, algo que tá único, sim.
See, it's basta price it aan Iceland, so. See, it's a risk and reward is like.
Borústa queda na Aruba, bota nasci aqui na. Que tá projeto não ficou não com bota pensa que bota assim na Aruba, bota em plana, ou por lo pronto bota full internacional.
No, Aruba, I'm still Aruba, where I'm from, so I always wanna see and try to live here and see how I can make that happen. Pero word ik toch met op druk naar exterieur, pero nog steeds nice event que também na Aruba Highlands.
Okay.
So in nós também bula live. Nós fazemos esse ano passado também, met também com o full team, the Dutch Drone Gods, que men também tem 2-3 drone te bula live para eu. You can watch it all online, or you can come to the beach and see it on the screens. Pero basically, you're gonna have all the windsurfing, the kite surfing, all the things they do for Aruba High Winds, and we're gonna get up close with the drones live, catch the action, see them overtake each other, see who's gonna win. So c'est een hobby exciting bewak. I have some die echt heen die exterieur te wagen in Romania te wagen, like random places, cheering the people they know on, because dat die hobby international competitors as well. So hobby nice. I say.
Me tá seguro que o hobby Robin, o pequeno tá seguindo e tá desejar de ter pouco de conhecimento. Tem chance quizás que porque do na workshops na Aruba, ou com gente não portar por sim é base de saque.
Well, no passado mahasi essa aqui vários bem, pero não tem hopi ânimo. Porta a você vai ter mais ânimo. Pero nesse check de mis caso when that will work out, pero mit a hopi open to do those things. So me gusta mane teach people and show people how and while I'm shooting and filming as well, hopi ainda te pedir me, hey, pero Vince, como te sei? Então I like sharing the knowledge. Online zie, like, botaya tanto gente te pediu, het gewoon, het is moeilijk para doen naar gente conseguir online.
Pero het is algo que tengo que hacer en práctica,
Sí,
live en el momento.
Sí. Like when there's somebody approaches you, como conocer, or you're hanging out with people, then I'm always about sharing it. Anto, ita kere dingen, like, so I'm doing this for 10 years. A passion die met dat drone racing. So die toer aan kom ita based the film, that's only 3 years, and I'm doing this for 10 years. So hoop die eigenlijk must spend racing drones, and I would travel the world going.
Ik kan niet comprender about racing drones.
So I would have a goggle on, or I have a goggle on. That's what makes my drone flying special. Okay. That I have a goggle on, and I see what the drone sees. So the drone flies, and I see. So I'm like inside the drone, and then I sit or I stand somewhere, and I control the drone while I'm inside of it. And racing aspect is when you have 4 of us, so 4 guys with the goggles on. They all put the drones on the starting grid, and then there's a track which you fly, and it has like gates and porches and flags you go around and go through.
Big challenge.
And you have to do laps, same as like F1. So you do like 4 or 5 laps, and the one who does the 4 or 5 laps the quickest wins. And that was a huge hype before filming with these kind of drones was even possible, because again, it's a long story, but the stabilization of the cameras weren't good enough at the time that we were racing. And when they got good enough, we took the skills we have of flying 100 kilometers per hour through a tight circle. Now I fly slow through lava or whatever.
And I shot about what I think carnaval.
Yeah, through carnaval, very close. No, exactly, because it's a different skill. The normal drone, which everybody has GPS, everybody can fly it, it's very slow, they don't have the goggles on, but as soon as you see someone with goggles on, it's like a niche, it's a special type of drone, and that's a race drone. So, but what I wanted to say about the workshops and the events, I organized, I think, 2 drone races on Aruba. I don't remember which years, 2017, 19, but I organized 2 times on the beach, and we had competitors, we had prize money, I tried to make it as big as possible, and almost nobody showed up, which is a pretty much bummer. Nobody was really interested. But then, because the whole drone racing was a bit niche, still people don't know what it is. And then COVID came, all the races stopped, the events stopped, but the stabilization of the cameras got good enough. But all the events like DEF CON, Mysteryland, all the big music festivals, they had the whole thing placed, but the people couldn't come. So they wanted to do that live with drones. And that's how I transitioned from like, oh, drone racing, oh, we can film with them now. Boom, 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 boom. So I hope I'm not confusing you with too much info.
Pero você traz uma dimensão diferente na lo que a gente compreende about o uso de lo que é normal de drone.
Sí, like but in normal, typical drones, which 95% of people have, and then you have the drone with the guy with the glass on. And the hopi must precise, so you can fly through the legs, around people's heads, and that's how we make cool commercials.
Hoe grande is drone tá?
Hopi small, but in
o que bedoel abbiamo nieuws maar een grande assim,
No, the hopi chiquito, and nós tem varios tamaño. We have ones with cinema cameras, which are pretty big, but still with the goggles on, with like a red Komodo. But we also have a very tiny one with like a little GoPro on it, and that's the one we use the most. And we do a lot of like indoor tours. We call them factory tours or tours of buildings. So like we're sitting in a building right now. Let's say you want to show outside to inside. The drone will come, it'll slow down, it'll go through the door. Somebody could even say hi. And we'll put some sound effects, it'll fly through the room, and you'll see like, okay, this is where you do processing. This is where we build the product. You fly outside, you back out, you put the logo, and then people can see the whole building or the vibe or the product within 40 minutes.
Dus
40
voor een
seconds.
andere perspectief eigenlijk.
And that's what sells a lot now, na Hulanda. I think I did one for Balashi here. I did one for, como te llama restaurant die, that restaurant, Gianni's, toch? Gianni's, yeah. So there's a few, there's another steakhouse, maybe some of
Con
you
anche algo
have seen.
differente.
See, but you can see the shots actually on TV. And so I did that with Rec Light with Edward Silberi, and so that was pretty cool. Pero I'm happy, man. It's a hopi random, kuma being on dentro da field. And bossa kuma ne mama nanto, mi mama do mescota, do bisami tempo na, mane, hey, no home with your video games, mane, it's not good for you, it's not good for your eyes.
Okay.
Until like 10, 20 years later, but you like a screen glued to your face, kind of, and you're playing a game in real life, which is... Sì, Antonio, tu bisa buo, tu bisa block, toch? Tempo na, buo mucho screen, but now everybody's on the screens. Antonio, mita mita pins din bia, isn't it bad for me, like having the goggle on your face so much?
Sì.
And it's not like you fly for hours, because un flight that like 3 minutes.
Okay.
Pero toch, like every day I fly.
Concentração.
Sim, but mesmo hope you concentrated, like if you have a headache, kijk gewoon in wat echt bij. Pero I say, man, like it went super crazy viral with the volcano, and now so much people know about FPV, so much people know about me, what I do with my drones. I get jobs worldwide, and I'm super proud and happy as an Aruban guy to have made it so far in a super tech industry. Yeah. Very tech. And yeah, it's pretty cool, and I'm happy to share it with you guys and share the story. And if you guys want to check it out, I have an Instagram, so it's Jedi, JEDIE_FPV. So it's like Star Wars, but without the eye, it's the eye of seeing. So because of the goggles, some people get it, some don't. But that's my handle, and since drone racing, like everybody had a nickname, and that's been my nickname.
Forever.
Everybody's got nicknames. Nice. The guy who I work with, he looks like Shaggy of Scooby-Doo, and he's called Shaggy FPV. Okay. So all the guys who do like the racing drones, if you're on Instagram or TikTok, you can check them out by seeing that they have FPV behind their name. It's like Michael FPV, John FPV, Star Wars FPV, da-da-da FPV. Nice. Whatever FPV, then you know, okay, that's like a guy who flies drones. Yeah, for sure. There's some girls who do it as well. Also in the racing, there's a few good ones, very fast girls. But with filming, on the top of my head, I'm not sure I know one of them who's pretty big. Like with traditional drones, there's a lot of big influencers with those. But with the FPV drones, it's just, it's a niche inside of a smaller thing already. So there's not a lot of us. So, but it's getting more and more popular. Like so many people want to learn. Like every time I do a shoot with clients, they're always so intrigued. Like, oh my God, the drone flies through the door. Wow, oh my God, whoa! Like they're every shoot they're mind blown. And they're like, but how do you start? And so I can give you guys a nice tip so you guys can get started with it, because there's an easy entry. Maybe it's not as fun because people want the drone, they want everything right away. But the easiest thing to do is to buy the remote control, which can set you back, let's say $100, $200, $300, depends on how expensive you want to make it. But you can even get them secondhand for $50. You don't have to be rich. And then you get a simulator on your computer, which costs, I think, $15 or $20. So let's say you get one secondhand for $50 and the game for $20, set you back $70. And then you can practice on your PC and you can crash unlimitedly and you can really get the feel for it, because FPV, you fly the drones completely manual. There's no GPS, nothing. So if the first few months, you're gonna crash a lot. So if you do that with a real drone, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. So the best way to start is just buy a remote, play the simulator, and try to get better. And then people ask me, but do I need the goggles? No, because you have the screen, and basically in the goggles you see the screen, but then up close. It's not like you can move around with your head and then see something else. It's not virtual reality, it's a screen, but close to your face so you can feel immersed. But if you have the laptop or your computer, it's fine. So that's the best tip I can give you. And if you really get the hang of it and think it's fun and start developing skills, then you start to buy the drone, you get the goggles, and slowly work your way up.
En dan is het practice makes perfect.
Sim, practice é a hobby practice, é echt algo mas é echt dedicado
Treino,
tempo.
tempo ding.
Lo qual, again, me também back na drone racing en doen onze skills. En tot dit dia die awe e voorsprong e the why I am having success right now. So, me tem a companhia Dutch Drone Gods na Hulanda e hopi dia directors nang kiere kwaliteit, nang kiepa ora nang bing e shot tay hopi lihe, noting treinamento e profissional e skills tay. E botaya hopi outra companhia that try to do what we do, but they only do it to make the shots until they've been doing it maybe for half a year or a year. Nang noting skills of a finesse pasaka a shot man in no sport. And that's because of the racing. So nos tem hobby swag
Essa é a diferença.
Conoce hacia como hobby, and a hobby skills a workout. So now we have like a huge voorsprong on all these other film companies which just want to film. And we also film now, but we come from a totally different background, like a background of
Porque quizás está sendo mais criativo também.
See. Like we'll take different lines, different approaches, and it's not always the best. Sometimes you also need a director to tell you no, but I see it like this, and I want it framed like this, and you try to work together to get to the best end result. Pero nós estamos assim a hobby de compa firma, e kiko ta framing, e kiora e framing ta bom, and que perspectiva boke crea. There's a lot of rules as well with compa firma. Então, inang nos din comissamento total lacking, pero nos quickly catch on. That's something easier to catch on than having skills which cost 6 years to build. So yeah, said the drone racing, FPV drones in a nutshell. It's super cool, super fun. Mita, hopi bia mita consejar tu gente tambe out there, try it. Like if you're somebody who wants to have fun and you think it's cool and you want to do something techy, something new, it's a hobby cool, but I feel like you're flying. So it's a cool aspect because it's when you get the goggles and you put it on your face and you go fly somewhere. It's immersive because you feel like you're flying there. So hele touch is of what, but whoa, it's a freak out. The feeling of flying is something cool two-handed you feel, I guess. Like when you dream, you feel of flying. So, me te aconsejar two-handed ku ta interested, like give it a shot. It's super fun. It's a super fun hobby. It's really cool.
Fens me hobby contento que ba trazer saque dilante para todos não botar wak escutar nós até algo full diferente que vou inspirar hobby não quizás adulto não também que trai algo novo. Então, não estou para o tubo social media, para o todo tipo de trabalho que botar assim, como drone. E me quero agradecer para vir de meu programa, e se tem alguma mensagem ainda para esse não que o escuta nós.
Well, Alicia, thank you for having me on your show. Me quero bisaba ser biba mais. Me hope happy to be here and to giving my story. Not in hope hand that echt pedimi papa pequena like I said when I did the whole drone racing thing not tinha hopi interesse.
Foi diferente, né?
Sim, então eu tinha beetje by beetje interesse back and I'm happy about that. So thank you again for having me. Então, me message to hene to stay kind for each other, stay humble, have a good time. You only got one life to live. Então, again, if you want to know how to drone race, come check it out online. FPV drones, super cool. Buy remote, play the simulator, get good, and have fun. Send it. Thank you.